Ah, wonderful. Greetings, honourable members of the inner scrotum, and the warmest welcome imaginable to Saturday Night Live, where I am thrilled almost beyond words to be in the company of such an amazing, vibrant, intelligent, witty, and downright sexy community. It's nothing short of a sheer and orgasmic joy. Well, how a bum bum a da bum a shoo be doo. How have your days been, darlings? What have you been eating? What have you got to tell me? What would you like to talk about? We have got, well, a minimum of 30 minutes and quite probably more to spend this little bit of time together and, have a little chat about whatever we'd like to, catch up with each other's news, share our plans for tomorrow. It's going to be utterly fantastic. I can't wait, and so I'm not going to. I'm going to go to the first cab off the rank this very evening, which is none other. No, it's not Jimmy Mighty Quinn. He was put to the post by Steve Cole. Good evening to you. Jimmy Quinn followed closely, saying good evening, Boaty, and what a joy to have you here again, sir. Stiff Upper Lip, Lord Stiff Upper Lip is here, and says bonjour, sir, bonsoir. And Steve Hawk says, I thought I'd come first once. Well, you did indeed. Stratospherian is with us. Good evening, Boaty, and all who check in the live stream. Alan Simpson is here. Greetings, honourable gang, and what a joy and a privilege to have you with us, Alan. The lovely Sophie is here, and is still up and drinking. Peter P is here. Now then, Peter P. Now then. I was listening to a very interesting program on the way home tonight, and it was all about Finland and the food of Finland, and the question of how happy Finnish people are, because of course Finland comes top in the list of world happiness. And in many ways, you can understand that. However, until very recently, Finland had an exceptionally high suicide rate. And that's only recently, I think it was 2009, where it began to decline. And there is an argument that the best way I heard it put by a Finnish chap was that Finnish people have the best opportunity for happiness, because they have an excellent social structure. They have a lot of safety nets, so you won't see Finnish people end up sleeping on the streets. You won't see the children going hungry or eating badly, because everybody in Finland has free school meals. But they were talking a lot about diet and the importance of diet when it comes to mental health. And in Finland recognizes that diet can be a cause of anxiety and depression, but it's not yet fully recognized that diet can play part of a cure for anxiety and depression. I found it remarkably interesting. The Finnish diet is right up there amongst what I consider to be the healthiest diets in the world. Number one is the Mediterranean diet. If you were wondering, but Finland is right up there with all of their berries the Finnish attitude to diet is very different than here and in many parts of Europe. KFC only went into Finland 5 years ago, so really the current generation and previous generations of Finnish people grew up eating decent food at school, decent food at home, and they don't have a culture of eating crap. And it's very interesting. I've long thought that that diet factors heavily in terms of mental health. And as some of you know, I've been banging on about it in my singles community for 8 years, trying to get people to address their diet, and not just specifically the food that you eat, but the way that you eat it. I won't bang on about it because I've banged on about it many times before, but it was a fascinating program. I know a lot more about Finland now than I did before, and I would recommend, if any of you have an interest in Finland, I would recommend that you listen to the program. It will be available on BBC Sounds. And it was on Radio 4 at whatever time it was, 10 o'clock, 10:30. Not sure exactly when it started, but you'll be able to listen to it on catch up. And it was really very interesting indeed. So anyway, good evening, Peter P. Matron is with us. Evening all. I wasn't going to be here as I need an early night, but I haven't managed to sleep yet, so I'm here. Well, good evening, Matron. Andrew Buttigieg is with us. Irish Spotty Butty. A very good evening to, oh, well, he just goes through all of the names. And very kindly says a very good evening to everyone. Stratospherian is sorry to hear that Matron hasn't been able to sleep, but is jolly glad that Matron's here with us. And I second that on both counts. Pardon me, darlings, I was not long in through the door when I had to turn the camera on, so I'm catching up with some of my simple pleasures, as I do. You're all used to me by now, aren't you? Oh, here we go. The disinfected cart burp is with us and says, like Tracy, I had intended to sleep early tonight too, but I'm not sleepy, so you're all in luck. Lemon is here. Good evening, lovely Boggs and luscious Boaty. Well, a jolly good evening to you, disenchanted cat burp. And it's never less than an honour, a privilege, a pleasure, and a joy to have the sheer delight of your charming company. I'm going to have a glass of, I'm going to have a sip of my wine, darlings. Haven't had a sip yet, and well, you know, it's well, I'm not even going to justify it. It's a nice glass of wine, and I'm going to drink it. Oh, marvelous, lovely, excellent. Oh. Peter P says, is it the excitement for the upcoming visit to Windy Bum? And I guess that's aimed at Matron or the or the disenfranchised Cartbird. Andrew says it wouldn't be the same without the BBS, the Big Booby Sisters. Dear. Courtesy of one of your old videos, says Alan Simpson, I now know why you were called Boaty. Boaty, but out of curiosity, have you ever owned a boat? No, I don't believe that I have ever owned a boat. I mean, I might have had a toy boat in the bath when I was a kid, although I doubt it. But I don't think I've ever owned a boat. No, I'm pretty sure I haven't. There you go. The disintegrating cart burp says, well, it's a very exciting trip. Not only Windy Bum, but also the Yard of Dreams and Captain Mustard. And for me, a very meticulously planned breakfast. Oh, there are breakfast updates, darlings. There are breakfast updates aplenty, including this, which I have reason to believe is breakfast related. We're going to be opening that in a short while. Karen Fletcher, the lovely Karen, one half of the Caspera, says, hello all, I'm driving tonight. Excellent. And Matron says that it is indeed the excitement of the forthcoming trip, but mostly the anxiety that I won't wake up early enough tomorrow and miss my train. Oh, well, fingers crossed. Peter P says the meticulously planned breakfast has got me excited, and you're not even going to be eating it, Peter P. Although, if you ever make it over here, my dear chap, there will be a meticulously planned breakfast waiting for you and anybody else. And notice that I say meticulously planned. I'm not guaranteeing that it's going to be any good. In fact, it almost certainly won't be. Most things that I meticulously plan turn out to be a total disaster, darlings. But at least I enjoyed the planning. Um, Hello, everyone, says Martin North, and hello to you. Oh, hello. Jimmy F500 is, oh God, what is that? Gaelic. Oh, I'm not even going to attempt that. I'm not even going to attempt that. I can barely bloody read it. Um, Pickled herring and jellied eels, anyone, says Andre. Karen saying hello to everybody and says that Buddy is here. We're at the Lake of the Ozarks. What the hell is that? Ah. Peter P says Hygge is a Danish concept, but it has recently reached us too. It's a concept that I like very much indeed. Boaty's roses. It sounds good. It's not what you eat, says Alan Simpson. It's the way that you eat it. That's what gets results. In his case, bananas. It's not what you eat, it's the way that you eat it. That's what gets results. Interesting about the diet in Finland, says Stratospherian. I was unaware of that. It helps the happiness statistics if the most miserable end their days prematurely. Sarcasm warning. Yeah. Ready for the winegasm, says the disenchanted cartwerp. And it hasn't, yeah, sorry, darlings. No, maybe a very minor thrill, but not a full on winegasm tonight for some reason. Don't know why. You can't expect it to happen every time, darlings. I suppose that's the top and bottom of it, isn't it? Oh, that bloody door. Honestly. When I get rich and famous, I'm going to buy a new fridge. I dread to think what anybody new to the live stream would think. If anybody is new to the live streams and is wondering what that noise was, I have got two fridge freezers, darlings. I've got a full-size fridge freezer, which you can possibly see part of there. And what you definitely can't see, but people who've visited me or stayed here will tell you that it's true. There is an under-counter fridge freezer just underneath here, just sort of there. And that is wine fridge and curry freezer. And annoyingly, every time I open the door, it makes a very rude noise. So, yeah, I hope that explains things to any newcomers who might have thought the noise was something else entirely. It's absolutely not. Now, let's have some food news, shall we? For lunch, I had a sausage sandwich. And for supper, unsurprisingly, it's going to be staff curry. Food news going forward. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow because I don't know what time I've got to go to the railway station to collect an Emma and some Emma lumps. So, yeah, haven't put, I mean, I've got a couple of options. It's not going to be a full on Sunday lunch, that's for sure and certain. So, yeah, I'm probably going to make that decision in the morning, which is unusual for me. But we have set out the menu for the rest of it. So tomorrow night is going to be Momo at Emma's request. Monday lunch will be a Milkston Road job, naturally, and it will be the ladies' choice as to which particular establishment on the Milkston Road we opt for. And then Monday night, again, Emma's request is going to be Nepali fusion chow mein, darlings. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm going to be making a drunken chow mein after the live stream. And if it's anywhere near as good as the very drunken one that I made when Neil and Sophie were here, it's going to be a thing of enormous splendor, great splendiferousness, because that, poor God, that was amazing. No idea how I did it. Barely remember cooking the bloody thing, but there we are. There we are. Pretzels at the ready, cries Emma. They're not roses, are they, say Steekel? What, the flowers? No, they're astrological, astromid, astra, they're Vauxhall Astras. Not sure which model, possibly a CD. Definitely not a GTE though. Absolutely marvellous. Anyway, the point is they cost £2.29p, and the last time I bought some, they lasted for about 3 months, which makes them terrific value for money in my book. And I haven't really got a value for money book, but you know, I can speak metaphorically with the best of them, darlings. What was I talking about? Food, wasn't I? Oh yeah, chow mein. Oh yeah, and then of course on Tuesday morning, before we head off to Matlock Bath, darlings. Oh yeah, I'm very excited about that. I know that I used to live there for quite a few years, but nonetheless, it will be good to go back and share somewhere that I love very deeply with some people that I'm equally rather fond of. So that's going to be great fun. And we will be doing something that I've never done before, my lovelies. What? I should cocoa, I should rub-a-dub, and you can bet your bottom dollar that we're going to be filming it for your delectation and delight. If I had 19 buttocks, I would give 17 to you. Then you'd have 19 buttocks, and I'd have only 2. If I had 19 buttocks, ladies and gentlemen, I don't currently have 19 buttocks, so there will be no buttock giveaway during this live stream. But who knows what the future might hold, darlings? Well, I mean, we know it's going to hold Momo, and we know it's going to hold some sort of breakfast. And further ingredients have been purchased for said breakfast, and indeed other meals that are going to be prepared, served, and scoffed here in Windy Bottom, my humble little damp cottage in the arse end of the Peak District National Park. Whoa, tremendous. Pardon me. Absolutely spiffing. Well, I'm enjoying this, and I sincerely hope that you are too. And I believe in being sincere, whether you mean it or not. Oh, hello, the Ken Joji is with us. And he say, she says, they say, comments need to be stopped from time to time for Boaty to read them properly. Oh, well, there we are. And hello to you all. Well, a big hello to you. Always lovely to have you here. Well, anytime Finland is mentioned, says Peter P., we see it as victory and head to the city squares and bathe in fountains. What a lovely idea. I also love the idea that the Finnish have such a deep affinity with nature. There was a very interesting chap who lives in London, Finnish chap, but lives in London. And there is I'm going to visit it actually. There's a Finnish church in London. But it also combines a shop and a restaurant all in the one building. And it acts as a community hub. Obviously, it's got religious overtones being a church, but it's not used as such. It's used as a community hub and special occasion meeting place for the Finnish population in that environment, which numbers 10,000, I'm led to believe. So they can go and buy their Finnish groceries there. They can eat a Finnish meal in a Finnish restaurant, and they can hang out with each other. But he was saying that in Finland, you can be truly free when it comes to nature, whereas in England, you can't do it. And the way he put it was, I love listening to Finnish people speak, by the way. They have a wonderful way with language, even when the language is not their own. Quite a few of them in the program tonight put things in a way that I would struggle to do. And I'm not that bad with words and expression myself, but I pale into insignificance in the shadow of these chaps. And he said that it's like nature in the UK is privately owned, and you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't go there. Whereas in Finland, everybody is a joint owner. And so it's natural for the Finnish people, even those who live in cities, to every day go for a walk in wild forests. And of course, they would traditionally have hunted or tracked down berries and so on and so on. And again, this goes to add into the mental well-being. I love that idea of communing, of being at one with nature in that way. And it's something that I should do a lot more, especially as I live in a beautiful part of the world. And quite honestly, I ignore it. I only see it from inside a car. And I don't get my ass out there in it. I have done. Um, Chinese madam was one for nature because where she comes from, they don't have any. And I think I've told you this before. It's true. Until she came to the UK, Chinese madam had never seen a blue sky. She'd only seen a sky full of smog and smoke and pollution. So the idea of being able to walk in the Peak District with beautiful blue skies above her was amazing to her. She was out there all the time and often used to drag me somewhat unwillingly with her. And Boo was very similar. Boo and I used to, especially when we lived in Matlock Bath, and especially during the pandemic, when the village was thankfully devoid of tourists. And we walked every step of the cliffs and the rocks and the rivers and the waterfalls. It was wonderful. But I haven't done it for years, and I really should, especially in winter. I mean, it would be good content for YouTube as well, wouldn't it? So I should really get into the habit of going out for a daily walk and filming it, I guess, showing some, well, not just showing, but enjoying myself, some of the beauty with which I am surrounded. Silly not to, really, innit? In it, brother. And you know that I'm not chatting pure breeze. Absolutely marvellous. Yeah. Sophie had a lovely breakfast. Well, do feel free to embellish on that, Sophie. Simone is with us. Good evening, Simone. Boaty, what's the fastest Welshman? Oh, sorry. Boaty was the fastest Welshman in what? Well, I've been the fastest Welshman in quite a few things. Would you like to narrow it down? Mustard's got a canoe. It needs welding, says Steakold. But you are wrong. Mustard does not have a canoe. And it doesn't need welding. Mustard sold the canoe. The cable cars were busy, says Sophie. They always are. They always are. You can queue for 2 hours for the cable cars if you go at the wrong time. Emma's asking Sophie if she got to go on the cable cars, and also says that she's enjoyed her photographs. And Karen enjoyed Simone's video yesterday. Emma had sushi today, and she's got it for her train journey tomorrow as well. Oh, Alan Simpson went toast rack hunting in Aberdeen city centre today. Oh, and it was unsuccessful. However, he's undeterred, and it will continue tomorrow. Jimmy F500 is still talking in Gaelic, I think, which I am unable to understand or pronounce. Yes, says Emma, quite emphatically. I'm getting me a good momoing tomorrow night. You are indeed. You are indeed. Peter P says, Boaty, where do I send my toast rack application? Just ping me on Messenger or text or WhatsApp or something. Give me an address and I'll try and get one off to you. And the same goes to anybody else. I made momo for Barry the other day, says Karen, based on Jason's recipe, and he loved it. Emma says, I didn't insist, the Ken Jojic. Boaty gave me multiple choices, suggesting 3 different suppers, and I selected one of them. Peter P would like to know if Karen also provided momo chutney. And Jimmy F says, F that, enough of the Gaelic. Thank God for that. Oh, the candle's gone out, says Steve Cold. Yes, it has indeed. And the one thing I didn't buy today was a candle. All the nice girls love a candle. All the nice girls love a wick. Because there's something about a candle that reminds them of when they were young. Lasagna. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And of course, there was Momo chutney, says Karen. Well done, you. But Karen goes on to say, we're having pizza tonight from the local parlour. It's wonderful. Gosh, a massage parlour that sells pizza. What a wonderful place. Oh, you could really have your cake and eat it too there, couldn't you? Do you have the pizza before or after the shenanigans, I wonder? Well, or even during. Who knows? Who knows? Paul's put a video up, says D. Cole, helpfully. Jimmy F500 had lasagna today and he absolutely loved it. Alan says Boaty may not have owned a boat, but I'm sure he's had a few tugs in his time. Well, I have, I have spent time on boats. I've just not owned one. Yes, we have oh Christ, not even going there. But it means every man's what right to roam, says Peter P. I'm loving learning about Finland. I'm loving learning about it. And yeah, I shall put it on my list of places to go when I'm less poor. I have virtually no experience of Scandinavia, darlings. I went to Norway once when I was a callow young person. But yeah, I'd love to do Finland. I very much enjoyed an episode of Harry's Garage when he drove his £4,500 eBay special Rolls Royce to the Arctic Circle to look at the lights. The Northern Lights thingamabob. Who's a fudge? Oh, and on that subject, darlings, before you go to bed tonight, do have a quick look outside and look up into the night sky, because this weekend, due to a number of factors, there are going to be an awful lot of shooting stars, a meteor shower, darlings. And if you've got clear skies where you are, you've got a very good chance of seeing the aurora borealis. So it's worth buggering off into your garden or outside of your front door and having a glance upwards before you hit the sack. Unless you're already in bed, of course. I love flowers, says Sophie. So, says Andrew, is Boaty going to get starkers and go and bask and frolic in the great outdoors? Oh, dear. Boaty, you once mentioned some racing or something, and you were the fastest Welshman there. Oh well, that sounds like a thing I joked about setting the Le Mans lap record for a mid-engine people carrier around the car park of the Le Mans Hotel Ibis. But on a serious note, I'm a little bit out of touch, but well, actually, there have been so many advances in technology, of course, but I would be interested to know whether I still hold any Welsh records. I wouldn't be surprised if I still hold some, because there was a period of time where I was like world class. So in terms of Welsh records, then obviously I would have put them on the shelf, as we say. It's a phrase. When you say you put a record on the shelf, it means that you set a record that is likely to last for a very long time because it's a big leap forward from the previous record. But there were certainly periods when I was the fastest Welshman at a variety of cycling disciplines. Whereas I doubt that I'm the fastest at anything these days. Maybe falling asleep. I'm very good at falling asleep. Well, says Emma, I think chow mein will be delicious. So if that's a fault, then I really don't mind. Oh well, there we are. Sophie didn't get to go on the cable cars, but hopefully he's going on tomorrow. Stratospherian says Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Iceland all appertain. What does that mean? Various degrees of freedom to roam for recreational use. Oh, I see. It's probably a foreign word. I myself have used it on stage in Sweden. Right, that's really interesting. Tricia is here and says, "Good evening, all. Late arrival. We had homemade curry tonight." Uh, Karen says Barry likes Finland. He says Keke Rosberg is a hero of his. Ah, uh, people are saying hello to Tricia. Batman Rubin says the way this country is going, freedom will be a thing of the past. What on earth makes you say that, my dear chap? God, we have, oh, that kind of thing annoys me. When you think about what's going on around the world, then here in His Majesty's United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, we live a life of immense freedom. So I'm not quite sure where you're going there, my dear chap. Car park. That's good enough. Car park? Oh, right. Yeah. Car park. The Hotel Ibis car park. Boaty, application sent to the £1 pick WhatsApp number, says Peter P. I will get onto that on Wednesday or possibly Thursday. I wouldn't, Andrew. Of course I wouldn't. Oh, you're a terrible man. Peter P says, my mum met Keke after he won the championship. She thought he was very short. Well, I mean, that's if the traditional way to Formula One is, of course, through karting. And like Formula One, karting is a discipline where being of small stature is a massive advantage. Because if you're a big, tall, long, heavy chap, then A, you're going to struggle to fit in, and B, you're going to be carrying extra weight, and that's particularly important in karting. I've done loads of karting events, not for a long time, but I did loads of them, Obviously, being in the motor trade, we would often meet up for some sort of karting event. And being a big lump of a chap, I never ever won them. Because my cart was slower than everybody else's because I was heavier than they were. So it would never surprise me when a racing driver is a person of smaller stature. There aren't many tall ones. JB was quite tall. Jensen Button. Hulkenberg is taller than normal, but generally speaking, racing drivers tend to be somewhat on the diminutive side, darlings, and for very good reasons. Edmund Quall, I believe that is. You'll have to forgive me. My eyesight in poor light like this is absolutely terrible. Ahoy, hoy, Boaty. Sorry it's been so long. You wouldn't believe it, but I've had my bloody hell. Really? Oh, God. You wouldn't believe it, but I've had my left leg amputated just below the knee. Still bloody hurts. Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? Phantom pain from amputated limbs. But hope you're well and everyone is standing upright. And how are those lovely girls, the Greenwood and the M11? And would you like to touch my stump? My goodness me. Blimey. Well, gosh, what a thing. What a thing. Well, I mean, bugger how we're doing. Hope you're doing okay. I mean, quite aside from the physical aspect, then, emotionally, well, I know how I felt about a bloody tooth coming out. I'd love this one to come out, by the way. It's, oh my God. Surely to God, it can't last many more days. But anyway, so obviously the idea of losing a limb or part of a limb is kind of beyond comprehension. And obviously it's there's then quite a major lifestyle change, isn't there? Because there's dealing with a new reality. So every bit of love and good wishes to you. I'm reminded of I've talked about this book before. I can't commend it to you enough. I Bought a Mountain, and I'm trying to remember who wrote it, and I've got a mental block on the name. I've talked about it. Sean's talked about it. Somebody sent him a copy. He hadn't read it the last time that I asked. I've read it over and over and over. I would recommend you to get a copy and to read it. But yeah, there's an amputation in that, and with a typical Welsh attitude, this leg having been buggered in an accident, he said, well, no use to me now, so they can have the bloody thing. They're welcome to it. But yeah, stuff like that and dealing with stuff like that, that's where real bravery comes in. So lovely to have you back here with us, and hope that everything is as okay as it can be under the circumstances. Karen says, my hero is Mario Andretti. Barry was driven in a Ferrari by him at Mid-Ohio in 2017, and Mario is tiny. They all are. Emma says, hey, Edmund, we're fine, thank you. On our way to visit Boaty tomorrow, so should hopefully pop up on the live stream. Everybody's saying hello to Edmund. Karen says, Barry, Gilles Villeneuve is my ultimate hero. I wonder if jockeys would make good F1 drivers, says Andrew. Well, size-wise, they would. And he then goes on to say, don't mention a certain Nigel Mansell. Don't mention Nigel Mansell to me. Oh, dear. I met Nigel at the 92 British Grand Prix, my childhood hero. But I know Boat hates him. I bloody do. Peter P says, Boaty would fuck Mansell up. I wish I had. Nigel is apparently a karate expert, says Karen. I don't care. I don't care. Lewis Hamilton is black belt karate as well. But I don't care. I'd still have had a damn good go. And I don't care how much of an expert they are. If I get the first one in, that's it. It's all about knowing how to hit somebody, darlings. If you have got somebody that's like a karate expert or something like that, then I'll give you a tip of how to deal with it. People think that you punch and you do this and you do that. The most effective thing to do if you just want to put a stop to a situation is actually a slap. An open-handed slap. And if you have a feel of the side of your face and kind of go to the front of your ear and go down, feel the bone, and then around the middle of the ear, just put your finger down there, you'll find that the bone disappears and there's a slight indentation before you get into the jawbone. There's a massive nerve center in there, darlings, a massive one. Now, if you hit somebody with an open-handed slap using that part of your hand, and that will, the bonus of doing that is that you won't end up with boxer's fractures, as they're known, so knackered knuckles like all of mine are. So hit them with an open-handed slap with that part of your palm and aim for that nerve center. Then it doesn't matter how much of an expert in anything they are, they'll be out for the count. And you can then run away before they regain consciousness, get up and kick your ass. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Where did I get to? Oh, Mustard's here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mustard. And he apologizes, but he's been extremely busy recently. Who reckons Boaty could beat Clarkson's ass, says Steve Cold. Well, I'd back myself against Clarkson every time. I mean, he's only thrown 2 punches in his life, hasn't he? Or maybe 3. 2 of them were at what's his name, that odious man, Piers Morgan, and he managed to break his hand. And the other one was at that Irish Top Gear chap. And to this day, I'm convinced that that was an inside job and a setup. But yeah, I'd back myself against Clarkson. In fact, I will go on record as saying that if Mr. Clarkson would like to engage in a white collar charity boxing event, I would gladly take him on. It would be a fair fight. We're not that different in age. We are the same height. We've probably got near enough the same reach, and we're probably about the same weight. So I would very gladly do that. I would suggest having 3 20-second rounds with a cigarette break in between each round. I'd love that. Me and Clarkson having a dust up. That would be brilliant. Oh dear. Oh dear. I can't stand Hamilton. He is a C word. His brother is lovely. Yeah, I'm a huge Lewis fan. Huge Lewis fan, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. I like anybody who is unusually. I know the British go for underdogs. I never did. I've always rooted for the best, and I want them to beat everybody and to keep on winning because, when I was the best, when I was the most talented or trained the hardest or whatever it was, I didn't want some bloody underdog coming along and beating me, and I don't want anybody to do it to Lewis either. But I like the fact that he's a groundbreaker. At the end of the day, and you'll forgive me for indulging my own personal racial heritage, he's a brother, and he was the first person of colour to make it in F1, and he didn't just bloody make it, did he? He became arguably the greatest of all time. And I love what he does with his time and with his money. And I love the fact that he genuinely, or certainly appears to genuinely, attempt to make a difference. But I know that a lot of people don't like him. I've been neglecting you. I'm sorry, says Mustard. Oh, I know you've had stuff going on. What? Boaty, you'd batter all 3 of them. Oh, dear. I wouldn't back you against Clarkson, says Mustard. Right then, darlings. Time is marching on. So I'm going to open this. Now, I know who this is from. It's from Matron. And I'm led to believe that it is breakfast-related merchandise. And that's very exciting because I think, touch wood, I think I've got all the rest of the ingredients for Tuesday's breakfast and Monday's supper tonight. And this is going to be, I think, the cherry on top or the icing on the cake. So let's have a look at what we've got here, shall we? It's quite weighty. It is quite weighty. I don't know what's in here. I just, I'm led to believe that it is related to not just this breakfast, but ongoing community breakfasts. I think that we were talking last night after the live stream. I say I think, I'm never sure what goes on after midnight, darlings, to be completely honest with you. But I think we were talking about the idea of community breakfast becoming a thing and moving forward and going on. Right, let's have a look. Oh, we've got some paper. Oh! Oh, oh, this is awesome. Ah, look at that. Lots of individual breakfast portions. What have we got? Oh, Jesus. Nutella. Well, I mean, yeah. Stop that. Guests might like it, of course. And we've got honey. There are, look, honey. And there are 4 of those. We've got, oh, God, this is a memory from childhood. Golden Shedless Marmalade. And there are 4 of those. And then we've got Hartley's Blackcurrant Jam. Oh, these are brilliant. Oh, what's this? Oh, Hartley's Apricot Jam. And there are, yeah, and there are 4 each of those. So there are 4 of everything. So we've got Nutella. God. We've got honey. Nice. You know, if somebody gets a bit poorly, they can have whiskey, honey, and hot water, or a bit of honey on your toast. Lovely. Marmalade. Now, I'm going to be all over a couple of those. And 2, no fewer than 2 jam options. Ah, Matron, thank you so much. That is brilliant. So, M11. Now, we've already established that for our Monday breakfast, for those who don't know, the M11 is coming to mine on Sunday night. Just repeat it last week, basically. So, but we're not going to be having a big breakfast, not even a bacon sandwich or anything on Monday, because we're going to be having a huge lunch. We're going to be having a Milkston Road lunch. So, but you need a little bit of something of a morning, do you not? So our breakfast is just going to be a slice of toast, but it's not just going to be a slice of toast now, is it? It's going to be a slice of toast with something marvelous on it, courtesy of Matron. And toast is going to play a part in Tuesday's meticulously planned breakfast. Yeah, so they can come into play then. And if I have a look on here, there's a best before date. Ah, right, so plenty of time. Best before date, 30th of January 2025. So, courtesy of Matron, and thank you very much indeed, Matron. Anybody who comes to Windybum for breakfast is going to have multiple options to spice up their toast, basically. So that's fantastic. That really is fantastic. I can't remember when I last had marmalade in the house. That's marvellous. I don't mind a bit of marmalade. That'll be an absolute joy. Ah, splendid. Right. Okay. It's kind of time to say goodnight, darlings, isn't it? The ladies need to get to sleep. They've got a big day tomorrow. I should probably get to sleep at some point, but you know, before that happens, then there's wine to drink and there's staff curry to eat, and there are breakfasts to plan. Oh, talking about breakfast. So, along with this from Matron, my own Amazon package arrived today, and that's all breakfast related shenanigans. So the table, I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I haven't looked at the weather forecast yet, although I believe that tomorrow is going to be incredibly hot. like 30 degrees or something. So don't know what the weather's going to be like Monday and Tuesday. Fingers crossed and touch wood. It'll be good. The table is a bit more dressed than it was. I've got stuff in the fridge. I've got stuff in the freezer. I think I've got everything I need, hopefully. So, nothing wrong with Piers Morgan. Nice man, says Jimmy F500. Yeah, right. I mean, I don't have any personal dislike for Piers Morgan. He hasn't offended me or annoyed me or upset me personally. But, I mean, you know, let's be honest. He is a perfectly awful human being, isn't he? The stuff that he got up to, the phone tapping of, you know, murdered bloody... Oh, I mean, it's just too awful to talk about, isn't it? I can smell chocolate a mile away, says Steagle. There is a video about what Boaty would like to do to Nigella in the kitchen. My idea of a treat, says Karen, involves Dwayne Johnson and a bottle of chocolate sauce. And now Barry is jealous. Nina Hartley is lovely. Where did that come from? Oh, sorry. Nina Hartley's a honey. Oh, dear. Barry says, Linda Hamilton and a bunch of ice cubes for me. Karen just slapped my arm. Oh, God, the Ice Maiden experience for Barry. Oh, God, the Ice Maiden. Trust you to remember that, Peter P. One of the marmalades, says Matron, is a lemon one. And there should be 4 jam options: strawberry, raspberry, blackberry, and apricot. Oh, God. Mustard, I'm not reading that out, mustard, but yeah, I agree they are. I agree they are. Right, let's check out the jams. So I've got apricot, blackcurrant. Oh, it's the upside down ones. Some of them are upside down. I assume they were the same. They're not. No, that's strawberry. You're right, Matron. There are indeed 4 jam options. I tell you what, darlings, breakfast is going to be bloody amazing here at Windy Bum. You should, I mean, you all need to come for breakfast. We can't let this good stuff go to waste, can we? Get your asses here for breakfast. Yep. Oh, God. You don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing. Oh, bugger the Premier Inn and the Travelodge and their £10 efforts. Oh, Windy Bum is the place to be when it comes to breakfast. Spread the word, darlings. When it comes to breakfast, Windy Bottom is where all of the big knobs hang out. You know it makes sense. Oh, stop saying block things. Stop saying block things. Thank you, Matron. This is a genuinely wonderful addition. I shall put a nice little serving platter on the breakfast table with the individual condiments there. And that's way more of a selection than I would have ever got. I did actually, immediately after the live stream, I did jump onto the old interweb. I keep closing it up and then wanting to look at it again. I did jump onto the old interweb to see what Safeways had, and they still do the tiny little ones of marmalade, but none of the jams. So if it wasn't for Matron, you wouldn't have had all of these options. You wouldn't have had the option to spread Nutella on your toast or honey. Honey, what a luxury that is. Or jam, a choice of 4 jams. This is bloody amazing. And on that note, darlings, it is indeed time to start saying your good nights. And, you know, take some joy, my lovelies. Take some joy. Because tonight is the last night for a while. that you're going to have to put up with me wittering on my own. Tomorrow night, you will have the pleasure of the M11 sitting here by my side. And then on Monday night, you've got you've got the old threesome, haven't you? You've got the old threesome. Oh my God. Oh my God. The internet might well break. Oh, one of the marmalades is a lemon one. I didn't spot that. I've got to opening it again. How many times are going to open and close this one? So golden shredders, golden shredders, golden shredders. Oh, so it must be this upside down one. Oh yeah. Silver shred lemon marmalade. God, what a thing. Oh, this is like a whole new breakfast world, darlings, isn't it? A whole new breakfast world. And what a thoughtful and lovely thing for Matron to do, to be sure. Thank you again, Matron. That's a lovely, thoughtful thing. And it is a genuinely altruistic thing for Matron, because Matron will not be having breakfast here. It's just going to be me and Emma. Matron is a big fan of a Premier Inn breakfast, and that's what she's going to be having on both Monday and Tuesday. She's not going to slum it here at Windy Bum, but, you know, her loss. Okay, darlings, let me see. Just catch up with the last of the comments and then let's bugger off, shall we? Oh, and Emma says that's a lovely gift of Boaty's community breakfast table. It is. It really is. Lovely condiments, says Andrew. And yeah, and remember that this is a community thing. You might think I'm kidding. I'm not, right? You would all be welcome to come here for breakfast. Maybe not all at the same time, but don't think that I'm kidding. Don't think it's one of those, oh yes, in theory you'd all be welcome, but in truth, you know, look who's been here. Mustard is the same. Look at who's been to the yard and have lunch with us. When I say it's a community thing, it's genuinely a community thing. Emma's basically taken up residence at the guest cupboard. Sophie and Neil have been here and will be here again. Oodles of people have been to the Yard of Dreams. Some of them, many of them, have shared the caravan with us and shared a lunch with us. It's a genuine community thing, darlings. It's not just words. If you're part of this community, then you would be very twice and thrice welcome to come and share a breakfast table or a lunch table or a caravan lunch or whatever. Right, and now it really is time to go. Time to go and eat. I'm hungry. If anyone wants to come to Barry's rescue, he loves rum balls and 12 chocolate bars. We can't get them here. Can anyone help, says Karen. Well, there you go. Barry needs rum balls and 12 chocolate bars. Emma's wondering how much it would send 12s to them. Night night, says Peter P. I can't get a taxi for the morning, says the disinfected cat chick. So I'll be walking. Where? What? Oh, to the train station. Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. Oh, and apparently you can get rum balls in Matlock Bath. Oh, so that's something we could look at doing on Tuesday. Emma says Boaty isn't going to be able to get a word in on Monday night, but I'm sure he will use that as an excuse to spend extra time farting and fagging in the kitchen. Quite right. Thunderstorms are due on Monday, says Matron, because we're all in the same place for the first time. Indeed. Oh dear. There we are. There we are. Caught up with the comments, darling. So thank you for giving me your time tonight, spending this time with me. I really, really appreciate it. I've enjoyed it very much indeed. I will be back tomorrow night at slightly earlier, 11 o'clock, and I will not be alone. There'll be me and Emma, and we will be with you right up until the time that it's time for us to eat our momo and prepare for the morning. There'll be I don't know exactly what's going to happen. That you might get a live stream on. Uh, you might get a live stream from the yard or from the caravan. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We genuinely haven't planned it out, other than that we're going to have lunch. It's going to be the Milkstone Road, and we're going to eat it in the caravan. There will be a lunch video, obviously. There will be a daily diary video. You've got a live stream tomorrow night, me and Emma. There'll be a live stream Monday night, the three of us. We're going to be filming everything, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited. And don't think the fun stops there, because there's loads planned for the week after as well, darling. So, yeah, it's all going to be terrific. Pizza is here. We're going to head out. See you all soon. Says Karen, bless you. Good night. And Emma says, see you all. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. See you all tomorrow. I'll send you my train arrival time shortly, Mr. B. Thank you. That would help. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for your company. Have a safe and peaceful night. Have the best day that you can tomorrow, and take every little bit of joy wherever you can find it. And if you're able to, please join Emma and I tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. We would really, really appreciate it. In the meantime, much love from me, and just, take the best care of yourselves possible. So on that note, Pachu, and indeed a multi-breakfast condiment